Is Bitcoin a scam or a savior? This question has stirred up countless debates around the globe. Today we dive into this controversy, aiming to shed some light on the matter. Let's start with the basics. Bitcoin is a type of digital currency, also known as cryptocurrency, that operates independently of a central bank. It was introduced in 2009 by an unknown person or group of people using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Since its inception, it has taken the financial world by storm, with its value skyrocketing and plummeting in dramatic, unpredictable swings. The controversy surrounding Bitcoin largely stems from its unconventional nature. Unlike traditional currencies, it's not governed by any central authority. This has led to its acceptance by some as a revolutionary financial tool, while others view it with skepticism and concern. The question, is Bitcoin a scam or a savior, is not just a matter of curiosity. It's a question of global financial stability and the future of economic transactions. With an increasing number of businesses accepting Bitcoin as payment and millions of people investing their hard-earned money in it, the stakes are high. Critics of Bitcoin argue that its lack of regulation makes it a fertile ground for illegal activities, including money laundering and tax evasion. They also point to its extreme volatility as a sign of its unreliability as a financial asset. On the other hand, proponents see Bitcoin as a liberating force that democratizes finance, giving power back to the people by removing the control of central banks and governments. One thing is clear, Bitcoin is a polarizing topic that elicits strong reactions from both its critics and supporters. Its potential to revolutionize the global financial system is as exciting as it is daunting. But is it a scam or a savior? To answer this question, we first need to understand why some people believe Bitcoin is a scam. Scene script. Many people label Bitcoin as a scam, but what exactly drives this belief? It all begins with Bitcoin's notorious volatility. The price of Bitcoin has been known to swing wildly within the span of a single day. Just imagine, you wake up one morning to find the value of your Bitcoin has halved overnight. This roller coaster ride of highs and lows can be nerve-wracking for many, leading them to view Bitcoin as an unstable and therefore risky investment. Next up, there's the issue of regulation. Traditional currencies are regulated by central banks or governments, providing a sense of security and stability. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is decentralized. There's no governing body to oversee its operations, which means there's no safety net if things go wrong. This lack of regulation is precisely what attracts some to Bitcoin, but for others, it's a red flag signaling danger. Then there's the dark underbelly of Bitcoin that cannot be ignored, its use in illegal activities. The anonymity of Bitcoin transactions makes it a favored currency for those involved in illicit activities, from drug trafficking to money laundering. This association with criminality has undoubtedly tarnished Bitcoin's reputation, causing many to view it as nothing more than a tool for lawbreakers. And let's not forget the numerous Bitcoin scams that have made headlines over the years. From Ponzi schemes to fake initial coin offerings, ICOs, these scams have duped investors out of their hard-earned money and left a sour taste in the mouths of many. Finally, there's the concern of environmental degradation. Yes, you heard it right. Mining Bitcoin requires a significant amount of energy, contributing to increased carbon emissions. This environmental concern adds another layer to the scam argument, making Bitcoin a less appealing choice for those who are environmentally conscious. With these points in mind, it's easy to see why some people are wary of Bitcoin. But what about the other side of the coin? Despite the criticism, a significant number of people see Bitcoin as a savior. But why? It's a question that stirs up quite the debate. To start with, Bitcoin is often seen as a hedge against inflation. With traditional currencies, governments can print more money when they see fit, leading to a decrease in the value of that currency, a phenomenon known as inflation. This isn't the case with Bitcoin. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins in existence. No more, no less. This finite supply is seen by many as a safeguard against the inflationary practices of central banks. Then, there's the allure of decentralization. Bitcoin operates on a peer-to-peer network, meaning no single entity controls it, not a government nor a central bank. It's a currency for the people, by the people. This decentralization brings about a sense of financial freedom, a break from the traditional banking system. And of course, we can't overlook the potential for high returns. Bitcoin's value has seen astronomical growth since its inception, turning early adopters into millionaires and billionaires. For some, it's the modern-day gold rush, a chance to strike it rich. This potential for high returns is a significant pull factor, enticing people to invest their hard-earned money into Bitcoin. But it's also worth noting that Bitcoin has shown potential as a means of financial inclusion. In parts of the world where traditional banking services are inaccessible or unreliable, Bitcoin can serve as a viable alternative, enabling people to participate in the global economy. Lastly, there's the belief in the technology itself. Blockchain, the technology that underpins Bitcoin, is seen by many as a revolutionary tool with the potential to disrupt various industries, from finance to supply chain management. Clearly, these people see Bitcoin's potential benefits as outweighing its risks. But where does that leave us? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this complex and fascinating topic in the next segment. Like with most things, the truth probably lies somewhere in between. But what does that mean for Bitcoin? Let's venture into this middle ground, shall we? It's here that we see Bitcoin as a paradoxical entity, embodying both the characteristics of a scam and a savior simultaneously. This duality is what makes it such a contentious topic and a fascinating subject of study. On one hand, Bitcoin exhibits scam-like qualities. Its high volatility makes it a risky investment. It's an unregulated market, which means there's a lack of consumer protection. There's also the issue of anonymity, which has made it a preferred currency for illicit activities on the dark web. On the other hand, Bitcoin also holds the potential to be a financial savior. It offers a decentralized form of currency, free from government control. It can be a lifesaver in countries with hyperinflation, where the national currency is virtually worthless. Moreover, the blockchain technology behind Bitcoin has the potential to revolutionize various industries, from finance to supply chain management. So how do we reconcile these opposing sides? The key is to remember that Bitcoin, like any tool, is neutral. Its value, both positive and negative, depends largely on how it's used. In the hands of a scammer, it can be used to defraud unsuspecting victims, but in the hands of an innovator, it can be used to create groundbreaking solutions that benefit society at large. Therefore, the question we should be asking isn't whether Bitcoin itself is a scam or a savior. Instead, we should be focusing on how we can harness its potential for good while mitigating its risks. This involves creating regulations to protect consumers, educating the public about its risks and benefits, and encouraging responsible, ethical usage. In this middle ground, we find that Bitcoin is neither inherently good nor bad. It's a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on the intentions and actions of the one wielding it. So, is Bitcoin a scam or a savior? The answer isn't as clear-cut as you might think. After exploring both sides of the argument, we're back to our initial question. Is Bitcoin a scam or a savior? It's clear that Bitcoin, like any other subject of such magnitude, is a complex entity. We've delved into the scam argument, where we saw critics pointing out its volatility, lack of regulation, and use in illegal activities. The naysayers argue that Bitcoin is a bubble, a get-rich-quick scheme that has no intrinsic value or backing. On the flip side, we've also explored the savior argument. Advocates of Bitcoin see it as a revolutionary technology, a new kind of money that is decentralized, borderless, and free from government control. They believe it can be a tool for financial inclusion, a hedge against inflation, and a catalyst for economic freedom. Then we ventured into the middle ground. We discovered that Bitcoin is neither wholly a scam nor wholly a savior. It's an innovative technology with immense potential, but it also has significant risks. It's a double-edged sword capable of bringing both harm and good. So, is Bitcoin a scam or a savior? The answer, it seems, is not black and white. It's a shade of gray that depends on your perspective, your understanding, and your willingness to embrace or reject the risks and opportunities it presents. This brings us back to our initial question, and while we may not have a definitive answer, we hope this exploration has shed some light on the complexities of Bitcoin, the world's first cryptocurrency. In the end, it's crucial to remember that Bitcoin, like any investment, requires careful consideration and research. It's not something to be entered into lightly or without a clear understanding of the risks involved. Whether you see Bitcoin as a scam or a savior, one thing is certain: it's a topic that deserves our attention. And as always, make sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions.